So Jacob, we have now measured all 3 control points in the setup. The setup calculation must be within tolerance because we get the option to accept it with this tick.
You mean we wouldn't get to continue if we were outside tolerance?
That's right.
That's great for me. I would know that none of the young guys can be tempted to carry on with a bad setup. What are the tolerance settings for coordinates anywhere setup?
We can tap here to see the residuals. We can remove one of the measurements from the calculation if we want to here. I will show you where you can set the tolerances after we save the setup with this tick. Back on the home screen, we tap on units to find tolerances here. We are currently using the precise tolerance set. The 2D tolerance for our setup was 3 mm, and the height tolerance was 4 mm. And here we can see the stakeout tolerances in 2D and in height. If we tap on the name of the current tolerance set here, you see we have 3 predefined tolerance sets and 3 user-defined tolerance set. So if you wanted to set your own tolerances for setups and layout, then you would choose one of these.
Let's just go with the precise tolerance set.
Okay. We will return to the home screen, then go back into the Layout Objects app. We still have the split screen from earlier. Before we carry on, let's change the prism type from tape to reflectorless. We know the wall panel we want to check, so let's use the Isolate feature to clear everything else off the screen. When we tap on the screen, the map zooms in and icon shows us a list of all the objects close to where we tapped. The item closest to where we tapped is at the top of the list. We don't want to select any more objects, so we tap the tick. We will use the right-hand part of the screen to get a close-up view of the wall panel. First, let's rotate the view. Then we will hold down the Zoom In button to activate Smart Zoom. Now we can choose where we want the map to center on when we zoom in. We can deactivate Smart Zoom by tapping on the Zoom In button again. Now when we tap the wall panel, we can choose to lay out any of its corners and edges. Let's start with this bottom corner. Again, icon offers us any points and lines close to where we tapped, so we choose the point. Now we will turn the total station to aim at the corner. And tap Start.
Wow, I'm pleased to see those numbers.
Yes, this corner is very close to the design coordinates. The top number is the height difference from the design corner. And the bottom number is the planned difference from the design corner. We can store the measurement so that it can be included in the stakeout report. So let's select the next corner. Again, icon lists the points and lines close to where we tapped, so we choose the point. Again, we turn the total station to aim at the corner we have selected. It is already measuring reflectorless distances, so we can see already that the second corner is also very close to the design position in both height and in plan. So again we can store the measurement to include the point in the stakeout report. And now we can see 2 green ticks on the map confirming that both the measurements were within tolerance.
That's great, but are we able to check random points on the surface of the wall panel?
Great question, Jacob. Let's select the bottom edge of the wall panel next. This line here in the list. Now we can start measuring. And the info panel is showing us how far the measurements are from the design line in plan and in height. This value here shows us how far along the reference line we are measuring.
And I guess we could store a measurement at any time to include it in the report?
That's right. I am going to change to a top-down view to show you one of Icon's geometry tools that is available when we are laying out the edge of an IFC object. As an example, we could choose to create a parallel offset and enter an offset value of 1 meter. Our reference line is now shown to the left of the IFC object, with the green flag indicating the start of the line, and the checkered flag indicating the end of the line. The info panel is now showing that our measurement is 1 meter offset from the reference line. There are other tools in the toolbox, such as the option to flip the direction of the line, creating a perpendicular line, asking the total station to automatically turn to the selected point, and displaying all of the object information from the BIM model.
That's a pretty powerful app.
I should have shown you how the object's attributes can be displayed in the info panel.
That's okay, time is short, so can we wrap up the icon demo soon please?
Okay, so maybe I can finish by showing you how Icon handles some common shapes using this sample dataset. For example, cylinders such as this pile. Icon creates quarter points around the perimeter and a center point. None of these exist in the design of the object, but Icon creates them automatically on input because they are really useful for layout. And similarly, Icon creates useful points on steel beams.
Yeah, that really is useful. I really like this Layout Objects app. I'll ask you to show me the equivalent in Captivate so I can compare the instruments, but I'm pretty happy that my layout engineers could use this icon.